If you want better taste from your cigarette, Lucky Strike is the brand to get. It's toasted to give you the best taste yet. It's the toasted cigarette. They take fine tobacco, it's light tobacco, it's mild tobacco too. And it's toasted, yes, it's toasted, because the toasting brings the flavor right through. So to get better taste from your cigarette, Lucky Strike is the brand to get. It's toasted to give you the best taste yet. It's the toasted cigarette.
The following program is rated TV MAL. It contains strong language and is intended only for mature audiences.
TBS, America's #1 independent television network, presents the following sports exclusive.
You're listening to Basically a Sports Show.
Follow us on Twitter at Basically Sports.
Subscribe to our podcast on iTunes.
And check out every episode of the show at basicallysports.tumblr.com.
Now here's your hosts, Zach,
Greg, Mike.
and this is Andy, and you're listening to Basically a Sports Show.
We are here. We are all on time, so I make no promises as to how good this show is going to be. I'm just going to say right off the top.
It's truly a valid point considering our history.
Right. So if it goes off the rails, you know why. I'm just going to say.
It'll just be because Jesus couldn't find Thanos in time. That's the reason.
Speaking of which, Cosmic, if you're listening, add Born Again Thanos to the list.
Yes.
It's got to be.
Yeah.
That's a given. That's going to totally be on there.
Yeah. I'll have to make sure to keep the photo evidence for when the time comes, so that people understand what I'm talking about, what we're doing. But if anybody that's watching the YouTube version of this,
Yes,
or the live version, it's the profile picture. It's some wall mural, I believe in Los Angeles, of Thanos on his knees crying, Infinity Gauntlet removed, with Jesus standing in front of him holding the Infinity Gauntlet to the side, hand on Thanos' forehead, forgiving him for his sins against the galaxy, the universe.
That's a lot of sins, man. He
Right?
killed.
Yeah, half of everyone.
Well, I guess the question is this Jesus that was able to intervene and stop Thanos and said, "It's okay, my child, everything will be okay," and took the Infinity Gauntlet away from him? Or did Thanos do the deed and he was so overcome with grief that Jesus forgave him for his sin?
Well, he was living the simple life of a farmer afterwards.
Indeed.
Wait, Thanos or Jesus? Does that
Thanos.
work with either one? Okay.
No. Jesus wasn't a farmer. Jesus was a carpenter.
No, but I can see him being a farmer now, right?
Yeah, he lived in first century Judea. That's a lot of desert.
Yeah, but these days, though, I can see him out in the woods. Got some weed growing in the back. I could see it happening. I'm just saying.
There's this mural from the size of it. The details are so kind of lost. It looks like a homeless dude holding a saxophone standing in front of Thanos. So it took me a minute. I thought it was like khaki pants. It's a strange Jesus, that's for sure. I know there's like a million. Here you go. You got a larger image.
There's the original.
So a trash night, is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. No, they are still on time today. So don't worry about them.
Okay. So we have classic ripped no shirt Jesus with like hardcore abs, big pecs.
Share screen.
Not emaciated, fasted in the desert for 28 days, Jesus.
Yeah, got his beard all trimmed up, his hair looking nice and smooth, eyebrows done.
There we go.
Like it's the over curated, hyper like Pinterested Jesus there in front of Thanos.
And don't scroll down in the comments; it gets a little corny.
I can only imagine the people who would
now we have to.
this.
No, it's best that you don't.
Ooh, Thanos in like a thong. That's nice.
Thanos rocking a pair of stilettos there. That's pretty funny.
Okay. Anyway, very nice. Very tasteful.
Let's get that out of there. All right, stop sharing. There we go. Yeah, that was you got to give Jesus credit too. He's holding on to that Infinity Gauntlet glove like with one hand. Got it off the ground, no problem.
Well, I mean, yeah, he's fine.
He is Jesus.
Jesus Christ.
Chaos Boss, a
Superstar.
very
Great musical.
Fantastic musical.
Yeah, got the
Yeah,
tattoo.
you know, one of the few I actually liked, believe it or not.
Yeah, got the logo tattooed on my arm. I love the two angels. That's
Nice.
awesome.
Did you guys ever? Have you seen like the live version of it ever?
Yes.
No, I'm not. I'm glad you have, Mike, because I'm curious. So, Jesus Christ Superstar. I grew up listening to the original recording, and then I watched the movie, and I was insulted. And
Well, there are like two movies.
there's every version of Jesus Christ Superstar is different. And they make it all contemporary and modern to where like Jesus, there's one where Jesus was like a Mohawk, like punk, and Judas was like this torn shirt, like rocker dude. It's like, we're trying to connect to the youths. Yeah.
Yeah, no, they do a lot of that where like they try to like make it, like you said, contemporary, where they try to bring mass media into it. Like there's one where King Herod is supposed to be like a Vegas lounge singer or something. But what's funny about that shit is that like whenever they do that and they try to make the story of Jesus, like they just make it contemporary and make it, up to date and all that stuff. Like there's still that line at the end that they never change where like Judas goes like Israel and BC had no mass communication. When you've just finished, barfing up social media hashtags and like TV cameras all over the stage. So like, I don't know, man, what are you doing? But no, like the original one in the 70s were just straight up, hey, we're just gonna have like Romans and dudes in the desert is probably the best.
Yeah, there's a lot of Vietnam allegory and shit, but I mean,
did you, Mike? When I saw it, it was with Ted Neely and Carl Anderson, who were in the original cast, and then.
That was far past my. It
was in. It was probably in the late '90s when they came back to do it. It wasn't like I saw it in the '70s. It was the one that I saw. The one that I saw was the stage version of the one, Andy, that you said you felt insulted by, where it's like all of the Romans are wearing like this like almost bondage gear-esque leather armor, and the disciples are all wearing like, I don't know, like punk, like street clothes, and you've got like the priests wearing like the Neo Matrix, like all black. So it was the one that I saw live was pretty not the best, but the music was still good at least. So there's that. The one I saw seemed pretty traditional, I guess, for lack of a better description of it. It was not entirely different from. It was different than the movie because the movie was. I don't know. I guess maybe if you did acid, the movie might be.
Yeah.
Well, like the original 70s movie is very much a product of the 70s.
Right.
Like,
yeah.
And then
it fits really.
Yeah, it's perfectly fine. Like in terms of having like an updated take. The one that really, I think, again, just the one that doesn't work for me is again when they try to like make it really contemporary and it's
anytime they do that. I mean, especially with Jesus, where it's set like, I mean, any story of Jesus. Don't give me any modern Jesus. I don't want it. I want the like.
He's got a robe and sandals.
Just rags and just kind of impoverished.
Don't give me the Jesus with like with the man bun and khakis and a bomber jacket. Like no, please don't.
Speaking of tragedies, I may be getting gradually depressed as the show goes on because the Bears are going to be playing the Steelers here in an hour or so, and they will probably just get their fucking ass handed to them. So, yeah, I may sigh several times in disappointment.
It's not a given, though.
But it feels like it.
Yeah, you never know. Strange weekend in football, though. I mean, what the Buffalo Bills? What the fuck?
A strange couple weekends in a row, really, if you include last week and this week. But yeah, this one was, woof.
And the Rams, dude, really?
Yeah, what happened, Zach?
I mean, that was Detroit Lion Matthew Stafford we saw last night.
The offensive line decided to give up a shit game. Like it. I didn't get a chance to watch it live because I was at the Ducks game instead. I wanted to watch the Rams game, but yeah, Ducks season tickets. Go see the Ducks game. They beat the Blues. Good job by them. 4 wins in a row. No big deal. From what I could tell, it's a combination of two things, or I guess a combination of 3 things. Let's call it that. One is the offensive line play like garbage and let guys straight through the middle all game long. I think Stafford got sacked, 5 times, something like that. Additionally, penalties were a big problem, real or otherwise. If you saw that Aaron Donald.
Yeah, that was ridiculous.
The alleged late hit?
Yeah, the one where he
tapped him with his hand?
Lightly pushed him out of bounds, and then somehow he fell down. And yeah. And then on top of that is... It was a classic game of Sean McVay tying himself into a fucking pretzel again. And look, Sean McVay is a genius. He creates incredible schemes. He does call a pretty good game most of the time. But then every game, at least once a game, and then sometimes it's to his detriment, he gets in these, like I said, he ties himself into a pretzel of not running the goddamn football. And additionally, so you would think him being such this offensive genius, so creative, so aggressive at his play calling, he's awful at deciding when to go for it on 4th down. And when he just does decide to go for it on 4th down, he's awful in choosing what plays to go for on 4th down. So like he rarely, if ever, chooses to go on 4th down when he should. And then on top of that, they lead the NFL with 6 4th down passing attempts, which I think only one of them have been completed. And it's like, just plow forward. If you're a good enough football team, you can get a yard on the ground. Just
I have a question.
Stop thinking about it too hard.
Is Kevin Stefanski part of the tree?
No.
Because that's a problem the Browns have too. They'll go for it on 4th down and run the most dumbass play you've ever seen.
Yeah.
Which is usually
but like
Mayfield getting sacked, but every once in a while they'll actually run the play and it falls apart.
Yeah.
Badly.
The other problem that the Rams end up having because of that, because of his aversion to running the ball, the worst place that you can actually put the Rams, if you're an opposing defense, is get them at like 1st and goal from the 5. And then they will just throw. They'll throw little fades to the end zone. They'll try to wait on crossing routes, and it's like, just run the stupid thing. And you're gonna, if you have 4 shots to run it in from the 5-yard line and you don't get it, that's on you. You should be able to do that.
How is there not, like, every single one of those plays should either be a run or a play action? Like when you're in goal, when you're like red zone offense, like how do you not basically default to play action every single time? Because I mean, like, what do you have to lose? The defense is, there's only so many mentalities you can have when you're that close to the end zone. And
really, the game turned early when Stafford had those 2 bad picks.
Yeah,
the one. Yeah, and the one where he should have just ate it and take the safety and live for another day, and the other one was just a bad pass. It happens. The whole game, like, overall, it's just one of those shit games you kind of flush down the toilet.
There were a lot of those going around yesterday. You had Denver going to Dallas and just curb stomping them, and I mean,
Broncos, Cowboys. The Giants beating the Raiders. I mean, the Raiders had a pretty bad week, all things considered, too. It looked like the Ravens were going to lose to the Vikings. The Chargers were almost going to lose to the Eagles. And that Jags-Bills game, which is like 6-9. That's all you got.
Urban Meyer's probably going to last the season because of that shit. So thanks for that too.
Yeah. So that game, we also gave us the Josh Allenception.
Yeah,
that was cool.
Defensive end Josh Allen sacked, intercepted, and recovered a fumble against Josh Allen, the quarterback of the Bills.
I love when this kind of stuff happens. It doesn't happen really ever, but
it was like the last time it happened was 1983 or something like that. A same name player sacked a player with the same name kind of thing.
It was the first sack ever because they've only been recording sacks officially since 84 or something like that.
Gotcha.
Yeah, just ask Deacon Jones. He'll tell you that he's got 8,000 sacks because they didn't keep track of them back then.
Yep.
Yes, it was.
Yeah,
it was
I just to, like in that vein. One of the Rams games I went to in the pregame, they were playing a video feature on the Pearson 4, and Deacon Jones's wife was being interviewed, and she said he had 18 sacks in one game, and I'm like,
one game, huh?
That seems like a lot to me.
There's also a clip out there running around of Deacon Jones on NFL Films where he is just casually talking about like smacking women, and it's of course it's awful, but it's hilarious. It's just how matter of fact he is about it. It's just the funniest fucking thing, and it's different, but it's
different era, man.
Yeah, wow. I don't think that was ever okay, but yeah, he's just like, oh yeah, sure, man. When we gets out of line, I'll smack a bitch. It's like, okay.
Sounds like what's the Sean Connery interview with Barbara Walters.
Oh, where
like,
she desperately gave him like every opportunity to salvage it and like walk it back, and he just kept going.
Sometimes you have to smack a woman to get her to know a place. He's like, do you really?
Really? Huh.
You want to elaborate on that? I mean, you take your hand and you strike the mouthy bitch. You hit her in the face. Okay, 007. Jesus Christ.
You go ahead and try that, dude. I'm not going to go that route because I'd have to be asking one of you guys if I could stay with you if I ever did something that stupid.
Anyway, of all the weird results we saw over the weekend, is there anyone that sticks out to you as like more concerning than any of the others, or are they all flush it and move on?
I think flush it and move on. Maybe the Bills a little bit because Jacksonville doesn't have a good defense, right? I mean, other than Josh Allen, the doppelganger, but they're not. I don't recall thinking of them as they're good on defense, but they can't score any points.
The only thing that concerns me about about Buffalo for the Jacksonville game is that they also had the game in week 1 against Pittsburgh that they should have won, and they blew that. And so I don't know. If I were a Bills fan, maybe I'm a bit worried that maybe we're prone to playing down to competition.
Well, they were talking about this on the Bill Simmons podcast today that the Bills had they lost to the Steelers. They lost to the Jags. Who was the other team that beat them? Because they're 5-3 now, right?
No, they lost to the Titans.
Yeah.
All right, so the Titans
in a very good Monday night game.
The Titans lost. You can go because the Titans look like they're going to be pretty good with the other two.
But two of their wins are against the Dolphins,
right?
One of their wins against Washington,
and the other one's against Kansas City, who's not good.
And a 40-0 win over Houston.
Yeah. So you kind of take the totality of all that and you go, I don't know, maybe not. I mean,
and you say their win over Kansas City, who's not very good. The problem is, we were all saying, oh no, Kansas City's out of it. Every team in the AFC West all has 5 wins, so they're not as far out of it as
well, yeah. Well, I think that's just because the AFC West, I think, just ended up being very underwhelming compared to what we maybe thought it would be.
Yeah.
I don't know. When you've got the Chiefs playing a Rogerless Packers team, and they only win by 6. Yeah, and
they scored 1 touchdown, and half of football Twitter was like, "Oh my God, Patrick Mahomes is back!" It's like he threw a touchdown. Relax.
Yeah, no. The Chiefs have not really been like the Chiefs are a problem, and the Chiefs are probably better than are probably worse than the record indicates because there have been a few games that could have gone either way that they just barely managed to pull out. So
sure, but like to say that they're out of it beyond the fact that the AFC West is all 5 wins, the only other teams that have more than 5 wins in the AFC are the Ravens and the Titans.
Yep.
New England's got 5 wins. Pittsburgh will likely have 5 wins after tonight. Same with Cleveland and Cincinnati. So the AFC is Ravens and Titans, and then a whole muck of 5-win teams just kind of
Ravens and Titans. It's the early 2000s all over again.
Like this Ravens, both the Ravens and the Titans are not like these pillars of the conference either. Like the Ravens are coming together, but they had kind of a wonky start, and
they've had a few wonky games, including yesterday.
I feel like there's so many teams that are like the Saints this year throughout the NFL, where you just don't know what you're going to get on any given day. Yep. It's either a domination or a stumbling. There's no, like, besides from maybe the Bucks, like there's only a few, like maybe 2 or 3 like truly elite teams, and even then it's not convincing. There's not a runaway, but
I mean, you say like the Bucks, but the Bucks lost to the
Bucks. Yeah, Jesus Christ, yeah. So the one thing I was looking at, the one score caught my eye was Jets and Colts, and the Colts won 45-30. But this made me laugh that the Jets are down. They were down to the 3rd quarterback now. Josh Johnson, this journeyman guy. He had like
Josh Johnson, really? Yeah. That's a name. Okay.
27 of 41, 300.
It sounds like the name of the clone presidential candidates from Futurama.
Right. I mean,
Josh Johnson and John Joshson.
Yeah, literally the Jets' 2 quarterbacks are Josh Johnson and Joe Flacco.
Well, and Mike White.
Well, he got hurt though, right?
Right, but his jersey is in the Football Hall of Fame now, so he's
It is?
Mike White, his jersey is in the Football Hall of Fame, I think, for some achievement for a first NFL start or something. I can't remember.
Huh.
But it's got behind glass, the hideous Jets uniform.
Oh, great.
It will be forever
evergreen.
Gotham
preserved.
green to you.
Barf.
Yeah, God damn it. Did any of you guys watch the Colts Jets game?
Oh no, I had so many better things to do.
I watched a bit of it. My God, was that that was
bad news, everyone.
What's that?
Steelers will be wearing their Color Rush all black.
That's right.
Oh man.
Yeah. Oh, so we could have had like a really nice classic uniform matchup, but we're not. Okay.
Nope.
No, look. The thing that I took away going into this weekend of football, and it proved to be right in kind of a weird way. This was the Sunday on the calendar of the entire 18-week calendar where you can say, oh, you know what? Every Sunday is taken up by stuff. I'm going to go to the store today. Today is my day to go get something done on a weekend and not watch football, because all these things are stinkers. Like Bears Steelers Monday night. If I wasn't talking to you guys, like when we're done with the show, I'm not watching this game. I'm gonna go watch TV. I got plenty of TV to catch up on. Last Thursday, I actually had my own high school football game to cover, but I wouldn't have watched Jets Colts. And then yesterday, I went shopping for Christmas decorations. So
already?
Oh, come on! Yeah, Greg. It's November. Come on,
November. It's
like the second week in November, isn't it?
Yeah,
okay.
we made it. We made a group decision here to wait until after the time change to allow ourselves to go Christmas stuff.
A group decision, like all of us, or you did?
No, like me and my girlfriend.
So I don't recall that conversation. I'm not saying it didn't happen. I just don't remember it.
No.
No, I remember that.
Run this stuff by us before you make those decisions.
Well, yeah, but like this is our first apartment together. We don't have our own Christmas decorations, so you gotta go start that box that's gonna live in the garage for 10 months of the year.
Yeah. Can I give you some advice?
What's that?
Okay, so you may have already done this, so it's no big deal. But what I've found in the last few years of house decorating or Christmas house decorating with the missus, one thing I've totally begun to loathe is a traditional Christmas tree. I don't want to put it up.
Yeah.
I don't want to put it away. I don't want to fuck with all the ornaments. Yep. Like we have literally downsized to one of those like ceramic trees you just kind of plug in. It's like the size of like a big like a football. Like that's it. That's gonna be our tree this year. It's such a pain in the end.
We don't have space in the apartment for like a big tree. Like we were at Michael's, that craft store.
Yeah,
Michael's.
And they
cool.
have
this weekend. I got a really cool case for some of my memorabilia while I was there.
There you go.
They have the tree displays, and I think the one that we're going to go with is like this. They call it like a pencil tree, where it's like it's just very thin and tall because it'll just fit in the corner. And we don't have a whole set of ornaments. We're not going to buy like one of those cases of little baubles. It has the lights already on it. Maybe we get some tinsel, or I have a couple Christmas themed Star Wars Funko Pops. Maybe put them in the tree. But that's about it.
Sounds good. That's,
Otherwise,
minimal's the way to go. It sounds like you're on the right track. So well done.
Yeah, we bought like a Christmas themed pillow and blanket.
Yeah.
Andy, do you
What else
guys
I got?
do lights on the house at your place?
I put lights around the front door because there's already like a plastic border, and that's it. I'm not fucking with putting lights on it, gutters, nothing like that. It would look great, but I've
done that for years with the lights across the top of the house, and I did it. I mean, I can't even. I don't know, 20 years I did that shit. And one day last year, I'm out there and I'm like, you know what would work better than these damn clips? Clothespins. And I did it, and I put the lights up in like 10 minutes because the clothespins are just like perfect. And I thought I'll never be a NASA engineer because it took me 21 fucking years to figure that out. I mean, I'd be out there fighting with those clips for hours.
Yeah,
trying to get it, and then I'm like, clothespins, just bang, 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 and it was done.
Nobody's gonna.
We want to
see
get
it.
little lights for inside the apartment, but just like drape them over the the window blinds.
I can't. You can't decorate enough for me. I mean, it's like if you want to go hog wild, I'm cool with it because
I love to be festive.
Yeah, I mean, and to me, there's no such thing as an ugly Christmas tree or bad decorations. It's just I love all of it.
But I do agree with you, Andy. Like at a certain point, like you don't think about it when you're putting it up, but every year when you're taking the tree down, you're putting every single individual ornament back in the box. Like, God damn, we got too many of these things.
It shouldn't take more than like 30 to 40 minutes to put all your stuff away after a holiday, in my opinion. Like it should just be like with Christmas though, with all the lights and all that shit. It's just very tedious.
I need you to decorate my house, man. If you can get it to the point where I'm done in 40 minutes after it's over, that'd be great.
But that's the beauty of having like, we have blankets, we got the pillows, we got like some shit to put on the mantle, and like you can get enough with a bucket full of stuff. And it won't take that long to put up. Whereas the Christmas lights, the ornaments, the tree, you got to take all the arms off and stuff. Yeah. It adds like an hour and a half to the whole deal, and it's just not
like my family is very they love decorating for everything. I think there's only one holiday that I legitimately would put up decorations for, and that's Christmas. Every other season does not need the seasonal sconces and whatever.
No, we only do like for Halloween, we stick like this little fake pumpkin that's got a light inside of it, and that's the end.
My mom has like a whole rotating menagerie for the front yard of her place. My grandmother last year, she bought one of those tiny Christmas trees, but she liked how much it looked in the hallway before it got decorated, that the tree now lives in the hallway all year. And she just decorates it for whatever holiday is coming up that month.
I hate that. I hate the holiday, just whatever, the Halloween tree and shit. It's like, fuck that.
Halloween tree, St. Patrick's Day tree, Flag Day tree,
There is a house where I live here. It's about 3 blocks away. And they go like Christmas all out for every, like Valentine's Day, St. Patrick's Day, Halloween, 4th of July.
That's cool.
I mean, like they go way like, lights on the house, the whole bit. It's just crazy. Mike, are you ready to worry about this Christmas decoration shit?
Yeah, I was gonna say I've got my menorah out, I've got my mensch on the bench out, and that's done.
When I was at the Home Goods, misplaced amongst all the Santa Clauses, there was 2 boxes that were a baseball menorah and a soccer menorah. So instead of lighting the candle, you just put a baseball in the thing.
I'm not sure.
Lighting a candle.
I'm not sure that's in keeping with the story of the Maccabees. But
I'm sure Sean Green would love it.
Right. I was just going to say Chaos Blast made the point I was going to make. That's former GTOV champion Minch on the bench.
Exactly. The bench is doing quite well. Yes.
Well, wait, Mike, are you telling me the Mensch wouldn't approve? He was the official team mascot of Team Israel.
That's true. He was. But the but no. Like the Christmas decorations. Actually, it is actually funny. Despite being Jewish, my mom converted to Judaism, but she wasn't raised Jewish, and so growing up, we actually did have Christmas decorations because my mom grew up with it, and she so we did Christmas and Hanukkah, and I thought it was a really nice combo. I like the Hanukkah stuff, but you know what? The smell of pine is also nice. Yeah. So,
did you ever do like because I've seen some houses that do the Hanukkah lights, and so they're white and blue Christmas lights.
So what we did, we didn't do white and blue. What we did was just straight white, like no color. We just did straight white.
That's popular.
And so it's kind of like it covers both.
Wait a minute.
Popular neutral option.
So like white and blue could possibly be like Hanukkah lights?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, I did not know that. I'll have to check
yes.
that out.
And then there's but really, for my purposes here, the one thing, especially now in my new place, but my new place is like an apartment, so that limits what I can do decoration wise. But like, if I had like a house, I think the holiday I'd go ham with is actually Halloween. Like.
It's hard. It's a natural fit. Like, I love decorating for Halloween. What do you not have a lot of stuff for your current place, or I guess it's a new place? So
it's a new place, and so and again, it's like the place that I was in previously was a townhouse, which allowed me to decorate a bit. I could put out like a pumpkin. I could put out a few Halloween like things here and there. But now I'm in an apartment, and so I can't really decorate anything outside. But I've got like a few little things that I put up inside, which promptly then went back in storage. But yeah, Halloween I think is Halloween is the holiday that I really enjoy. Although to be honest, again, despite being Jewish, and I guess maybe this is because I did grow up with it, I do like Christmas decorations. The pine is nice. It's just a really cozy feeling. So
you know what, my bells and what's the other one that I'm just a sucker for? Bells, and there's one other, I can't think of it now, but like any like Christmas holiday bells, I love all of them. And I'll think of the other one like 2 hours from now and go, well, that's it.
The thing that seems to be
wreaths and bells.
Wreaths. Okay.
Yeah. The thing that seems to be in vogue this year, based on our looking around yesterday, and something that we somehow fell backwards into saying, you know what, we actually do like this, is the red and black flannel with the old school red truck with a Christmas tree in the back.
Okay,
that sort of look.
That's cool.
Apparently is very popular this year.
Kind of a rustic, farmhouse Christmas kind of
rustic
thing.
Christmas tree farm, America. Yeah.
Look at this show can do anything. Look at us. We're doing Christmas decorations. I mean, come on. You don't get this kind
listen.
of
Listen. But here's what we got to cover today. The Arizona Coyotes won a fucking game against the goddamn Kraken. Their first game. Who gives a shit? Nobody cares.
Pop the champagne.
No, I'm loving talking about Christmas decorations. I'm just pointing out that we are capable of it. Most podcasts.
We can talk about the Coyotes. We can talk about a week of bad football games. Yeah. And we can talk about everyone's favorite mercurial green and gold wearing quarterback.
I was going to say, is this going to be like the Andy vindication episode where he's been
I almost don't want to dignify him with conversation because all he did was out himself as a piece of shit. And and a total moron. So like, I have nothing. Well,
the best comment I saw about it was that because he admitted to taking a horse dewormer paste. That it's like well, when he gets back onto the field, his mane should be nice and full. At the very least. So.
He'll have a very shiny coat. Yes.
Yeah.
To be fair, and I'm not advocating for it. I still think the vaccine is the best route to go, but there have been some studies, not COVID studies, mind you, but studies that show that ivermectin has been effective as an antiviral. So I'm not going to be.
I get that. But like,
still a moron.
But until the league, and until studies come out that show that it is effective against COVID, then, he shouldn't be saying, I took it, therefore I should be,
The other problem being that he said he took it because Joe Rogan told him he could.
Yeah, and maybe I'm biased because I've got a family full of doctors. But the deer antler stuff, right? Yeah.
Has anyone tried that? Does that work?
I'll give it a go.
But yeah, maybe I'm biased because I'm from a family full of doctors. But like, I cannot fathom someone going like, I'm going to take my medical advice from Joe Rogan. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
It really is like, if they may come out with a study in a few years that shows how like ivermectin's effectiveness against XYZ things, and it's like this incredibly useful thing, and it already has been proven as it's won the fucking Nobel Prize and stuff, but because it's become this mascot for like defiant anti-science shit, it's besmirched the once non-notable name of ivermectin. But it's more the arrogance and this multi-millionaire quarterback who he and his team get all the favors in every single game. They everyone kisses their ass. This charming piece of shit. He's hosting Jeopardy, and he's he ain't
gonna be doing that anymore. I can tell you that much.
he went full heel turn, man. I mean, he just like totally with that. But here's my thing, and we talked about this a couple months ago. You don't want to get the vaccine, that's fine by me. Don't. It's your choice. I'm vaccinated, so fuck you. I don't care. But, and I think we specifically said this, when they ask you why you didn't, don't spout a bunch of fucking nonsense. Like I was immunized homeopathically. That's not even possible. I'm sorry.
His response when he was asked that question too, yes, he said I'm immunized, and then he went further to keep saying like, oh, it's a question a lot of people are asking that. It just like, and it reads different when I read it on the page because I finally heard it out loud again today on the Press Box podcast who was going over this stuff, and it just struck me with how just like I'm this and this is why, the way that he speaks,
right,
and the way that he presented it, he never had any. I guess when he was speaking, he was clearly trying to slip by it as cleanly as he could, and not just be like, "No, I'm not." And then whatever he said, "Oh no, I'm immunized. This and that and whatever. It's fine."
You're not.
Well, I mean,
there are two ways: you can get the vaccine, you can get the fucking disease. That's it. And now he's immunized. But
now he doesn't have to get tested again until after the NFC title game, which is kind of crazy. But
I mean, go ahead, Mike. It's just like the whole thing again, and this kind of goes back to what Andy said, is that it's just this whole fucking like anti-science, defiant anti-science anger that
he's a critical thinker.
Is he though? Like, I feel like every discussion, every time, like I love how people are bringing up like, oh, Aaron Rodgers is really smart. And I even did this on the boards. I just want to constantly play that clip from Thor Ragnarok. Is he though? Like, come on.
Well, you say these people that say they're critical thinkers and yet spout the same things that from people that aren't critical thinkers.
Well, it's hilarious. It's like
the same critical thinking that's done on Facebook groups across the country.
Well, that's something else I wanted to bring up. He mentioned how before the NFL season started, he did his homeopathic, I guess, tree oil and wheat smoothie.
Don't forget the crystals.
And crystal, meditation thing. And he wanted that to be treated like the vaccine for the NFL's guidelines. So he brought his treatment to the NFL and tried to say like, hey, can you consider this as good as vaccination?
Sign my permission slip, Roger Goodell.
No.
And the NFL, and according to Rogers, they quote like they thought I was a loon, and it's like, really? Yeah. and so I really just wish I could see what that presentation was like, because I legitimately bet it was just him printing up like 60 pages worth of Facebook comments and handing it out.
You know who Aaron Rodgers is? He's the guy who, when you've been waiting to get off on an exit on a really busy exit on the interstate. And then just as you're about to get like onto the exit ramp, you see some asshole holding up traffic with a right turn signal, just waiting to just get cut. Let somebody just sneak on in. Just let him sneak in there.
That's
gives you that smug little wave, like, yeah, I kind of, I didn't wait like you did. I just like,
you
just,
know, the whole thing.
I do that.
Zach, I swear to God, I'm getting in the car right now. I'm on my way. Justice is en route.
I could have taken the whole thing. I do it too, Zach.
Come on. Why would I be a dummy and wait in the long line? I'm just gonna get to the front. Right? If someone's gonna let me in, then that's their fault, not mine.
In the Midwest, we have this thing where everybody lets one person go, and it all works out. So,
like, if I go all the way down and someone is really just blocking up the lane, okay, fine, I messed up. Good job on you for holding your ground. But if you're gonna let me in, it's, you know.
Yeah.
Hey, look. I'm Canadian. KS Blast can confirm this. We are as a people so good at just patiently waiting in long lines. So this is lost on me. But
you guys got to go to the Midwest. But don't you guys do this in Illinois, Andy? Where it's like if you've got a situation like that, it'll go, okay, like say I'll let somebody out and then I go, and then you're like, you're behind me, you let somebody out, then you go, and then
it's all about feel, you know. Like it depends on because there are like if I see somebody who's doing that, but they have like a Cardinals sticker on their car, I'm not going to fucking let them in.
Or if they're too aggressive, like if they start,
yes, yeah,
you know, then it's like fuck you, no. Then
Dennis is also right. Sometimes it's just, you know, you're in the left lane, you got to get over, and it's you or the guy next to you who's going to live. Me.
Oh man, this is killing me inside. Like I deal with every day. I deal with drivers who it's like, all right, everybody, here I go, good luck, and they don't even fucking care who's next to them, in front of them, behind them. They just kind of
that's Florida every day, man. Like every minute.
That here, although it's less Mad Max here and just more like casual, lazy, like indifference. But actually, to Chaos Blast, what Chaos Blast said about the TB12 method, Brady's been vaccinated since April. So,
yeah, because he realized as like a function of being in the NFL this year, it would just probably be much easier on his entire life if he just did the thing.
To get back to
but you know, going back to the whole Rodgers and comparing Rodgers to Brady, like. Wow, like who would have thought like that of between Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady, like Aaron Rodgers would have been the one to go full wacko alternative science health.
I knew he was in trouble the minute he showed up with a man bun this year. I was like, okay, something happened.
Well, he says that he was growing it out for his John Wick costume for Halloween.
Oh, is that what it was?
That's what his the fact is.
Well, then again,
I haven't seen if he's gotten a haircut since last Sunday or not. But
here's the thing: I'm just gonna I think there's. I mean, he's far from the only guy in the NFL that's not vaccinated, right?
No. There's more guys in the NFL than probably. I mean, probably more baseball players, but yeah, more than hockey and more than the NBA. Yeah.
So here's the thing: the answer I will respect is I don't want to get it. I'm healthy. I'm in an age bracket where I'm probably not at very high risk, and I'm just going to roll the dice. Okay, I can respect that.
Sure.
Don't come to me and go, "Oh, I got a homeopathic method." You know, homeopathic means it doesn't fucking work. Look it up. It's like Latin for this doesn't do jack shit for anything.
Yeah. Well, because the other means. The other thing that he put out there, which again, I think to play with that, if you didn't want to get it and you're in the NFL, fine. There's protocols that you are going to have to follow. If you're okay with following those protocols, great. And he on the McAfee thing, on the McAfee show where he was, did his long interview, he said, I'm tested every single day. Some guys go on vacation on the weekend, I have to stay, and I'm tested every single day. So that's why he felt like he didn't need to do some of these things. But in addition to not following protocols, like,
yeah,
if you're not vaccinated and you're getting texted, that still doesn't. But he would like choose to not wear his mask in the interviews when somebody asked him about that, he said, "Oh, because I don't agree with it." It's like, okay, well, what about the rest? But it's a protocol.
Well,
it's a protocol for you being in this locker room right now. That's a rule that you need to follow.
Yeah.
So maybe just do it.
And
he's Aaron Rodgers. He doesn't have to.
He did that whole goalpost movie and shit where it's like, well, from a certain
Right.
point of view, I was totally vaccinated. Well, from a certain point of view, I'm a fucking elephant. You know, like
From a certain point of view, I'm a Jedi Knight. What do
right.
think of
You know,
that?
like it's just
From a certain point of view, Darth Vader killed your father.
That's what I was trying to get to. I couldn't remember
Yeah.
the line.
But, I mean, it's this.
From a certain point of view, you can make out with your sister.
Yeah, he just
it was a total douchebag move on his
Yeah.
part. Just own it, man. That's all I'm asking is just fucking own it. Go, I don't want it. Here's why. Don't feed me a bunch of nonsense, you know. And I'm talking. Look, I've taken that motherfucker 3 times now, and it's fine. I understand and I get it. There are people out there that go, it's a 1 in whatever, gazillion shot. They don't want to be the one. I understand that fear. So I'm not going to be too hard on people that don't want to get it, but just give me a good reason. Don't feed me.
Well, I mean, the whole thing was full of shit. He claimed to be allergic.
Well,
Which you wouldn't know unless you took it.
What I read something that, and I don't know, I can't verify this, so I don't know if it's true or not. But I read another story where he said he was allergic to one of the ingredients in the mRNA vaccine. I don't know if that's true or not. I don't know.
Aren't the ingredients in the vaccine like water, salt, saline, and MRA?
There's other stuff. I mean, I don't know what any of it is, but I mean, that's a very specific fucking allergy, is what I'll say. I'm not saying he's not, but I'm going, wow, that's pretty remarkable. I will say that. So,
of all the optics, he chose the worst way to get the worst possible optics.
I mean, as that McCaffrey interview was happening, like you could see, like it's like Aaron Rodgers was imploding in real time.
Yeah.
The instant that he invoked the woke mob phrasing, like that's when you know that it's like, all right, I don't need to listen to a single second more of this.
And then he compared himself.
himself.
And then he compared himself to Martin Luther King Jr., which was
yeah.
I didn't catch that.
He misattributed the quote of a righteous a righteous person should like object to any unjust law or whatever the actual quote is. And basically he tried to say that he was standing up to an unjust law and following the mantra of
all right,
King.
fine, okay. If that's the route you want to go, I respect that too. But you don't get to make it up as you go along. You don't get to go all of a sudden after you've been busted for a million other fucking things, unrelated. Where I immunized myself by like snorting crystals and chanting around a fire.
Well, I mean his girlfriend
revolutionary and go, oh, you know what? I'm fighting the man. No bullshit. That was your last excuse.
I mean his girlfriend eats dirt or eats dirt and drinks spring water that she collected herself. So
liquid clay. I thought
liquid. Oh yeah, she drinks liquid clay.
That's got to be nasty, right?
And she's one of those vagina sun bath people.
Oh God, really?
So yeah,
the jade egg kind of thing. Yeah, like Gwyneth Paltrow.
They stick their assholes up in the air for sun.
Yeah, no, that's her. That's basically.
Oh, fuck's sake.
Yeah. So
yeah, here's what Rogers said. He said, the great MLK said, "You have a moral obligation to object to unjust rules and rules that made no sense."
Then object from the beginning.
Which isn't the actual quote, but
that aside. If that's your stance, then make it your stance from day one. Don't feed me a bunch of bullshit. And then when you get busted, go, oh, and by the way, I'm standing up for whatever he's supposed to be standing up for. No.
That is not. You don't get to say I, a multi-million-dollar Hall of Fame athlete, who has access to anything I want, basically. I equal a black man in the 1960s. Our oppression is equal. That is not. That is wrong.
The NFL wants me to wear a mask is not the same as the systematic oppression of Jim Crow era the South. It's
like I'm not. Did he follow up with a question about hey, so how did you're so in touch with MLK and that in that time period and stuff? How'd you feel about George Floyd? I bet that really hit you hard, and I'm sure.
You think You think Pat McAfee asked follow-up questions?
No, Pat McAfee's great interview style is, whoa, bro. Oh, wow, bro. Whoa. Yo, whoa, man.
Yeah.
Well, anyway,
he gets a shitload of good guests, and he does fuck all with them, man. He just lets them talk, and sometimes they do shit like this. And
that's the thing. I mean, sometimes you're going to get gold out of that, But no, look, hey, like I said, whatever the King quote is he was trying to go for there, if that's your position, then that's your position. Make it your position. You guys know where I stand on a lot of these things, and I have not changed that one iota throughout this whole thing. And I like all of a sudden going, well, back before this started, I was this, even when I really wasn't. And that's what he's doing here. It's like, if you're going to make a stand, a moral stand like this, then from day one, when they go unionize, you go, no, you know why? Because unjust laws need to be, not obeyed or whatever the fuck it is.
And ultimately,
he didn't do that.
And ultimately, from beyond like public persona stuff or political stuff or whatever, I think where I come back on the thing that's probably the worst about this is kind of to piggyback off something Terry Bradshaw said on the NFL pregame on Sunday.
The great prophet Bradshaw.
I love Terry Bradshaw. The Fox NFL guys buried Rodgers.
Oh, yeah, they really went after him. And basically, it's not, he lied, not to us or to the media or whoever. The way that he portrayed himself, he lied to his teammates, the people that he has to go through this with and be in the same locker room with every day. Now, I don't know what he was telling them in the locker room. He could have told them about this shit. But like to go out there and try to pass it off of, oh, no, I'm immunized. No. These are the people that, because you chose to do what you chose to act how you did, you chose to live how you wanted to, which is within your right. But if you're going to do that, you have to make sure that you're still trying to do your job correctly and be able to be there for your guys. Now, yes, he will still be there for the rest of the season, but ultimately he's going to miss 2 games in the middle of this season that maybe he can come back next week, but I doubt he'd be cleared on Saturday.
Yeah.
Would that make him eligible to play on Sunday? I don't know.
If he's cleared Saturday, he can play Sunday, I think.
But will he? I guess is a better question. I don't know. Either way, he can miss up to 2 games, which they would probably lose both of because Jordan Love's not good enough.
No, Jordan Love's fucking terrible. That's that. Right. I sent you guys that gif of like, the Packers medical staff after seeing Jordan Love like holding him down, like trying to poke needles into Aaron Rodgers. I think the thing that bothers me the most about it is that he pulled the "I'm Aaron Rodgers, I can get away with this" card. He played that, and not necessarily like blatantly, but that's what this is. I'm Aaron Rodgers. I can do whatever I want. I'm the State Farm guy. I'm the Jeopardy guy. It's like, fuck off.
He's not going to be those things for long.
Well, State Farm already backed him. State Farm said.
Did they?
Yeah, they're cool.
Like I said,
they said that they disagree with his stance, but they respect his right to.
I don't know. I think that everybody. I think everybody should get vaccinated. I would like to see everyone get vaccinated, but it's not my call to make. I can only take care of me. So I just don't get this whole, like, why did you lie about it? Why the fuck, if you were making some grand political stand, did you not say
he thought he was going to be smarter than everybody else?
Well, that's the problem.
He thought he could skirt the system.
He knows just enough trying to be like a fucking idiot. That's his problem.
He wanted to be the super smart guy in the room and be like, nah, man, I'm immunized. But are you vaccinated? I'm immunized. Like, okay.
It's like, it's a yes or no question, dude. You don't need to. It's like, that was not an option.
And then 8-10 weeks later, you come back and go, oh, well, by the way, I'm making this grand moral stand. It's like bullshit. I mean, he has so fucking hollow. That's what drives me nuts.
He's just mad that people got mad at him for and quote put him in the crosshairs of the woke mob. And
right, okay.
And then the second quote was, let me pull it back up. The second quote was, the final nail gets put in his cancel culture casket.
Oh, please.
Fucking I get in a real casket, you son of a bitch. Just be gone. Like, I cannot stand this mother. And he goes and oh, yeah, it was probably an unvaccinated player, or it probably was a vaccinated player that gave it to me.
Because that was his other point they wanted to make on McAfee was the whole well, if the vaccines are so great, then why did people keep getting the COVID? And it's like, well, because that's again not how it fucking works, you idiot.
It's straw man shit. And he's just trying to be like, well, if your vaccine is so great, then how come a vaccinated teammate gave it to me? It's like, you can't.
It's like you said, constantly moving the goalposts so that he's not wrong. and then everybody else is just
well,
attacking.
and here's my thing too. If you, I'm again, you don't like the vaccine, you don't like vaccines in general. That's entirely your right. It's a perfectly valid. I don't know how valid it is, but it's okay to feel that way. But here's what drives me nuts, and I see this every fucking day. I'm against the vaccine, and now I'm going to tell you all the reasons that it will fucking kill you. And that, it's like, stop, enough with this already. Just enough. Over.
And ultimately, with Aaron Rodgers, I think the thing that stands out to me too, at the end of it all, is that when the media drama was all about, oh, is he going to come back to the Packers? Oh, where is he going? He ate that shit up for months. But now that all the media attention is on him, but in a way he doesn't like, well, now it's the woke mob and cancel culture. So which one is it, Aaron? Do you want to be the center of everything for controversy when the controversy benefits you, and you're going to get mad at it when it turns the other way? That says more about you than
you want to know what Aaron Rodgers is. Andy gave the description of the asshole in traffic. I'm going to go Aaron Rodgers. No, it's not Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers is a dumb jock who knows just enough to be a dangerous idiot. That's what Aaron Rodgers is.
No, you know what his problem is, and you can't trust any man that would do this. Anyone that would dump Olivia Munn for fucking Danica Patrick, I'm sorry. That just right there. That should tell you where you were at. Smart guy doesn't do that.
By the way, I have a man bun right now, so my brain may not be in the right place. I could be losing.
Do you really?
Yeah,
but do you hold it together with like hemp twine or
no? I did use a twisty tie the other day.
Doesn't even count, until you get some hemp twine for it. Come on.
Yeah. Well, after we're done, I'll get my copper pyramid and get some crystals and do my cleansing routine.
You'll be immunized at that point, Andy. You won't need to take a shot.
Exactly. Yeah, I got to get into my yoga sphere, and
I think you need like 2 pieces of black onyx, an incense, preferably sandalwood, but that if you can get it, if not, whatever will work.
Yeah. And if you can find, an anti-polarized meteorite, that'd be the way to go.
That's tough, but it can be done. Anyway, yeah. So that's my thing. It's like, be consistent. If you're, like I said, there's a lot of people in sports that aren't vaccinated. You don't hear a fucking word about them because they're like, okay, I'm not going to do this. This is what I have to do in order to stay with the team. End of story. Fine, I respect that. But this was just such, dude. He was a jackass before this. All he did was really confirm everything that we'd always thought about him on the show. I mean, especially Andy. Andy's like, Andy should not even be surprised by this. You should be like, yeah, of course this motherfucker's acting this way.
It's just, again, validates suspicions, or suspicions validated. I am not surprised, but I'm also just, it's like, how have people not seen that this is who he is the entire time? And a lot of people have. But I just I want him to be in some sort of a pit that slowly crushes him. And I think that his existence is now, useless. Let's just be done. Let's move on collectively from the Aaron Rodgers chapter. Just let him fade into the ether like a Thanos snap. Just
right after he wins the Super Bowl, so I get my shareholders ring. Then we can just chuck him to the side of the road.
Speaking of consistency, we are not consistent in our picks. Not going great.
I quit. I'm not even doing it anymore.
No, come on.
I'm kidding. Who did I miss on this week?
You missed the Cardinals and 49ers. You chose the 49ers to beat the Cardinals. Which did not end well. I don't know.
God. Well, it almost looked like it would have played out for you because Kyler Murray was out, DeAndre Hopkins was out.
Yeah, but I forgot.
That doesn't matter so much when the 49ers are terrible.
Colt McCoy was around, though. I didn't know that. If I'd known that.
The perfect Texas quarterback, Colt McCoy.
Right.
Well, let's not get too hasty there, Zach. You did choose the Bengals to beat the Browns.
I did.
And, that was a mistake.
Yep. No, I know. As soon as that score started popping up, I said, fuck.
What the fuck's wrong with the Bengals? Remember 2 weeks ago? This is like the Bengals' time.
Wow, they beat the Ravens. Here they come, and then the Jets and the Browns.
The next in the 2022 draft, they got 7 picks, right?
Yeah,
I would pick 7 offensive linemen if I were them. That's what they need. I'm serious. Yeah. That's their problem. They've got talent. I don't think they're done yet. I don't think the Browns exposed them or anything. I think that Burrow had a bad day, and Baker Mayfield, didn't fuck up too bad. So that's what happened. And you know what? They did the smart thing. They're like, we've got the best running back in the NFL. How about we hand him the ball once in a while? Hey, there you go. Worked out pretty good. Anyway, go ahead, Andy. Sorry, I didn't mean to.
That's all right.
I didn't mean to cleave jack us there. Sorry about that.
It's all good. Patriots came through for Mike. I don't know why that was a game. I guess the scoring line was close enough that Mike chose it was Patriots Panthers. Mike, of course, chose the Patriots and was correct.
Sam Darnold went out there and whoa, did he have a Sam Darnold game?
I wonder if he just had like Belichick visions, like the distractible game, or is he truly cooked finally? Because he and the Panthers started out really good, and then just everything fell apart. I just yikes.
I think so. Chaos Blast. Yes, I think picking all offensive linemen would be better. All right.
Yeah. Packers. I chose the Packers to beat the Chiefs, and that did not go well. So yeah.
Well, to be fair, you picked the Packers to beat the Chiefs before Aaron Rodgers.
Before Aaron Rodgers imploded.
Yeah.
Right. So right now the standings are: Mike has nearly a runaway. He's 7-2.
Why? Go, man.
Zach and I are 5-4.
Defended my title. Got to defend that title.
And Greg
I've come back down to earth. I was an early leader.
What am I, like 2-9?
3-6.
3-6. Jesus.
Andy and I can still make the playoffs. That's
I've got, what have I got left here? That's 9. I got like 8 weeks. I can still make a run here.
I don't think. I mean, we're all making the playoffs. I guess. I don't know how this is going to work. So this week we have 6 games to choose from. I'm going to run down this list here, and I want you guys to tell me if you think they are games that should not be on this list.
Okay.
All right. And this is in no order. Chiefs and Raiders.
Yeah, that should
Saints and Titans. Browns and Patriots.
Okay.
Seahawks and Packers. Vikings and Chargers. And Eagles and Broncos.
Well, can we just find out that can we just get confirmation that Russell Wilson is like an anti-masker or something, just so we can justify that hatred too?
Is there anything he could do that would let me ask you this. Is there anything he could do to swing us in the other direction on him? What would he have to do for us to go, hey, you know what? He's not such a bad guy after all.
I would say save some puppies from a burning building, but
I'm sure he's already done that.
Well, given that it's Russell Wilson, there's a good chance he trapped the puppies and set the building on fire just so he could save them.
See, that's what I'm talking about. That's some Russell Wilson hate right there.
Yeah.
If he saved puppies, he'd be like, yeah, we know he put the puppies in there and set the fucking fire, so screw him.
All right, guys, I'm going to let you ponder over the week 10 matchups here for a minute. I'm going to go and feed my annoying dog, so give me just a minute.
Okay. So yeah,
before Russell Wilson murders them.
Yeah, I don't think any of those games Andy picked are out of the question.
No, maybe Broncos and what was it?
Broncos Eagles is probably, I don't know. I mean, the Broncos are 5-4 now. They blew the hell out of the Cowboys.
That was a weird freaking game.
You know what's funny about that? I mean, nobody cares about my fantasy team, but with Rodgers, putting his head up his ass, and then Kyler Murray being out, I went without a quarterback. I'm like, Teddy Bridgewater, why not? And he actually did okay for him.
Well,
yeah.
I mean,
I think speaking of Rodgers being out, I wonder if we should take that Seahawks Packers off the board.
Yeah,
because it's either Jordan Love or Aaron Rodgers on 10 days.
We could be trying to pick Jordan Love versus Geno Smith,
right?
Which is okay.
That's hilarious, actually.
I almost kind of want to see that.
Well, I mean, I'm all for. I've just embraced this season's been so weird. I've embraced chaos.
Oh yeah,
which is why I'm disappointed that the Lions didn't pick up Odell Beckham. That would have been great.
Let's talk about that for a second. What do you guys think about the whole affair with Odell Beckham Jr.?
Oh, he can get fucked.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just over it with him. I understand he wasn't getting the ball thrown to him in Cleveland for whatever reason, but I'm not a fan of these guys. Odell has been this guy forever. There's always something going on with him, right? It's just he could get plopped onto the Cardinals, let's just say, as a team that has the best record in the league right now. And yet he'd still find something to piss and moan about. So I don't think so.
My thing with it is that I never thought it was a great match from the beginning. And everybody's saying now he's going to go out and show the Browns how wrong they are, which is fine. Maybe if that happens, that happens. It was never a good match. And for him to say that he never got the ball, I've watched pretty much every game he's played in a Cleveland Browns uniform. And my biggest complaint was that Baker Mayfield would constantly try to force the ball into triple coverage trying to hit that guy. So, I mean, I can edit any video to make it look like he was always open and never got the ball. Or I could turn around and show you all the times that Mayfield forced it in on him. But I hope he goes somewhere and I hope he succeeds. But I'm not going to let my Browns take the hit for it because it was a bad move to begin with. They didn't need him, and it didn't work out. So okay, fine. If he goes to the Raiders, it becomes great again. Good for him. But don't I will let the Browns take a lot of shit because they deserve a lot of shit. But on this one, they're not wrong. They need to move along from him.
The thing that rubs me the wrong way is like when he's saying like, if you're not a contender, don't claim me, or there's going to be problems. Like, fuck you, guy.
Right.
Walk into a OBJ conversation. There.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like again, as Zach said, like he's always been this guy. So it's like, what if a contender claims him, he's not going to be a problem? Like he's always.
And the problem is no contender can afford to keep him right now. He's too expensive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So the other thing is like, not only is he a headache, he's an expensive headache.
Yeah.
Why in the world would anybody worth their salt want him right now?
Well,
and some of the teams he said that he wanted to go to, he wants to go to the Seahawks right now. Like, okay, sure,
have fun.
Yeah, fine, whatever, man.
It's been his dream to get the ball passed to him by Geno Smith.
Right.
When he had this list of teams, somebody was like, "Oh, Odell bought Sunday Ticket this year, did he?" Yeah.
It is.
I'll give the guy credit. When he was here, I don't recall him being. If he was talking a lot and running his mouth and stuff, you didn't hear about it because he seemed to be a pretty good citizen while he was here.
So winning will do that. I think they had a nice year.
Anyway, Andy, when we were talking about the games, I think we want to take Seahawks Packers out.
Oh,
yeah, that could be
because of the uncertainty.
The Jordan,
yeah, you don't know who's going to be quarterback for the Packers.
Okay.
Which we want to see the Geno Smith Jordan Love Bowl, but we don't want to have to pick it.
All right, very good. Okay, so let's go ahead and have Greg. Or no, let's have Mike pick first. So Mike, pick 1 through 5.
1 through 5. I'm gonna pick 4.
Okay, you will be picking between the Browns and the Patriots.
Ooh.
The resurgent Browns and the suddenly dominant Patriots.
They're the same team.
This is here's an interesting thing. The Patriots are 5-4. This game is in Foxborough. They're 1-4 at home.
Good.
I am going to. Okay, see, here's the thing. Both teams have been really inconsistent this year. Both teams have looked really good, and then both teams have put up absolute, dog shit. And so, all outs being equal, like Greg said, they're basically the same team. So, all outs being equal, I'm gonna bet with Belichick. I'd rather bet, on Belichick than against Belichick. So I'm gonna say Patriots.
Okay, very well. Zach,
a good game.
Yeah, an interesting game to watch. See if did you see Mac Jones try to a guy that who was it? It was he tried to twist his ankle. He got like the ball knocked out of his hands and did not see it. No. Okay.
Did anybody see? I sent it in the text thread last night. That dude for the Vikings, and he was running down the field like waving his arm around in a circle. Did you guys see that?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
The wind. I don't know what the fuck he was doing, but it was hilarious. So look it up if you want to, folks. I'm not going to drag it up, but it was good. All right, who's next?
Okay, so Zach, for me, pick 1 through 4, please.
3.
3. So I will use Saints at Titans. I feel like if I pick the Titans, then the Saints will put up 50, and be a good team. If I pick the Saints, the Titans will just steamroll them. But Derrick Henry is out for the foreseeable future, correct?
I think he's out for the year, isn't
Correct.
he?
They brought back Adrian Peterson to.
Yeah.
You know, coming off a win, I think. They lost to the Falcons, so they're probably broken. I'm going to go with the Titans.
Okay.
I'll pick the Titans to win that one. Zach, you may pick for yourself 1 through 3.
2.
Okay, Chiefs at Raiders.
Ooh.
Oof.
Tough one.
Yeah. I mean, I want to think that the Raiders lost because of all the shit they were dealing with over the last week with Ruggs and his DUI, and
which everyone suddenly stopped talking about when Aaron Rodgers happened.
Yeah.
Is there anything anybody's happier than that guy about?
I think, what is there to talk about? The guy was drunk, driving 156 miles an hour, and
shit, really
killed a woman and her dog and injured his friend that was in the car.
Wow.
So, for the game itself, it's in Vegas. I want to think the Chiefs are, now that everything's like equal, that maybe the Chiefs can like find themselves and push back forward. So I'm gonna go with the Chefs. Sunday Night Football in Vegas.
All right, and Greg, finally 1 or 2, sir.
What? 1 through what?
2.
1 or 2.
I'm going to go with 1.
All right, you are picking the Vikings and the Chargers.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
Which team will miss a field goal first?
Now listen, I'll do you a favor, Greg. You can either pick that one or Eagles and Broncos.
Oh Jesus! I'm going to go Chargers just because they're home. That's it.
Can we have can this go to overtime and just have dueling missed field goals until the end of the game?
Well, you got to figure there's going to be how many kicks are going to get missed in this game. I'm going to go like 2 on each team, right? Like 1 field goal.
The Chargers did miss an extra point yesterday, so
of course they did.
And this game is in SoFi, so it'll be a pro Vikings crowd.
Yeah.
No.
I don't know. The Chargers, I mean, they looked good for a while, and now they're back to being the Chargers, so I don't know what to make. Did they win yesterday?
They won. Yeah, they pulled it out.
Who'd they play?
Eagles.
They almost lost.
I'll go with the Chargers. I'm going to go with the Chargers. Yeah, Chaos Bless is right. Are the Chargers really at home? Well, they're in the town they play in. How about that? They're in the town they play in. So
By the way, congratulations, Chargers. They're moving out of Costa Mesa in 2 years.
Oh, they're moving out of the strip mall?
They're moving out of the IKEA warehouse. Yeah. They're they bought some land in El Segundo down the street from where the Kings and Lakers practice.
Well, good for them.
Kings, Lakers, and Clippers also practice at El Segundo, I think.
I like
they're in Playa del Rey.
Los Angeles Chargers of El Segundo. That's got a nice ring to it. I like that.
Yeah, at least it'll be in LA County now, and you can.
They need to move back to San Diego.
The Los Angeles Chargers of El Segundo. That sounds like the title of like an old Western kind of cereal or something from like the 1940s, 50s.
The Chargers of El Segundo.
You are so glitchy and robotic right now.
Yeah, you are. I thought maybe it was just me. Like sometimes I that way, and everybody else. I guess we made him mad.
No, I think he's trying to reset.
Yeah, probably a good idea. So we got all our picks, right?
Yeah. We've gotten well over an hour into the show, and we haven't talked. The World Series ended, and we haven't mentioned it at all. We didn't even mention it in our text chat.
I'm going to guess it's because we didn't watch it. Would probably be why we're not talking about it.
What was the picture of Astros Wolverine? I think that just sums it up beautifully.
Oh, that was it. The Atlanta Braves.
Good for them.
Way to go! First one since '96.
And then they had that freaking parade.
The parade that looked like a race car.
The NASCAR parade.
Yeah.
Because of the stadium move, I guess they had two separate parades.
Well, they had
one
real quick, or what?
Well, right. They did one in downtown Atlanta, and they did another one in the suburbs to the stadium.
Did they have? Well, I mean, it's better than what the Devils did for their Stanley Cup parades.
Well, they just had parking lot rallies.
Yeah, they just had a parade in the parking lot,
which is what the Ducks had to do too. Like, I think in the instance of the Devils and the Ducks, like, there's no downtown to speak of. What do you drive through?
I could have sworn when the Angels won the World Series, they had like a proper parade through Anaheim.
They had a parade from Disneyland to Angel Stadium. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
All right. So here's the question:
that's a more straight line. And at the time, the Angels were owned by Disney, so they also had a parade down Main Street, USA, in Disneyland. So
cool.
Different times.
How much of the World Series did any of us watch?
Not one single second.
0 games.
I watched the last 2 innings of Game 6.
Oh no! I should say no. I watched the final 3 strikes on my phone.
I watched like I said, the last 2 innings because I thought, oh, the Braves might pull this off. So
I told myself I would watch it if it went to Game 7 and we had a chance of an Atlanta choke. I would watch it if the Astros got it to 7. I would watch Game 7, but they didn't. So
yeah, no, I specifically did not watch anything, and then I do like to watch the final out of any season or the final seconds.
Right. That's just to say what I was there.
All right, this is it. I want to see they won. There's the trophy. Have a good off season.
I mean, I don't know. It was just, I guess, due to the fact that I kind of hate both teams, so I just had no interest in it.
Oh yeah, God no. Andy, did you watch a single second of World Series baseball?
First of all, do I sound like a robot?
Not as much.
No, you're good.
No, you're fine.
Okay. No, I watched no World Series games at all. I did see the bus going like 40 miles an hour. That was awesome.
I have to know there because I did see other portions of the parade where they were driving normally. I also saw a portion of the parade where the police tried to arrest Tyler Matzik because they thought he was just somebody that jumped the fence of the parade route. He's just I'm just a drunk guy wearing a baseball uniform, but I'm the one that's supposed to be here. So I got to know that they were. That has to have either been at the end of the route or the beginning of the route when they were going to the next portion of the parade route. Because that's just silly.
Don't ruin it. That was fucking hilarious. Don't ruin it.
That's just silly.
Like that's great.
Only
Atlanta.
Yeah.
I watched. Like I said, I watched the last. Maybe 2 innings. No, I take that back. It was the last 2 innings, top of the 8th. I started watching Game 6. That was it. Who can watch this stuff? I mean, honestly, who can watch? What was the shortest game in that series? Like 4 hours and 50 minutes?
I think the shortest game was like 3.5. Yeah.
3.5 hours. And then somebody put on Twitter that the Yankees and Dodgers back in 78 or whatever, when they were playing all the time, did a 9-8 game. It took 2 hours and 15 minutes. Now, what the fuck happened between now and then? You know, that made baseball all of a sudden this like slog. I mean, my God, I've watched many series that didn't take as fucking long as a baseball game. It's ridiculous. So I know I go on this rant every single time, but I'm just so over it. It's like, it's too long. Fix it. I don't even care about the 3 true outcome bullshit. Just make it go faster. That's all I ask.
Yeah, let me see. Does this have no, the game summary doesn't have the box score might. I'm trying to find out game times, like length of game.
Well, I mean, really, what makes it take so long? Is it just because it's like, a minute between pitches, or what's the story here? Because
batters leaving the box.
Yeah, I think it's everybody just stares at each other for too long.
For fuck's sake,
right? Like,
look, I'm as traditional with baseball as it gets. Get the damn pitch clock in there next year, right now. Do it, and same with the batters. You don't get to say, take your OCD somewhere else. You don't get to step out and adjust every fucking glove, every piece of Velcro on your body and the whole bit every time in between pitches. No, you get one shot at it. That's it. If your gloves aren't fit right, too bad. It just drives me crazy. It's too long. It's boring. And I used to be the baseball apologist on this show. Remember back in the old days? Not anymore.
No,
I'm actually disappointed that I watched more of it than you guys did.
I didn't watch any of it. It was it just didn't interest me. There were some potential matchups in the playoffs that I would have been into seeing, and then we just got Braves Astros, and it's whatever.
Well,
I will.
It's interesting that the Astros are one with this version of themselves, considering the guys that were injured and out, like Acuna, for example.
I mean the Braves.
Oh, did I say Astros? Yeah. I meant the Braves. But then they're also gonna like have to break up the team this year because of contracts and stuff. So, like Freddie Freeman may not be there next year. And,
well, they won what 88 games. So they're like what was that Cardinals team 2006 that won like
85
was it? Yeah,
86, 85, something like that.
Yeah, then got into the playoffs and won the World Series and ruined everything. But I don't know. I would, I just didn't have any interest in these teams. Good on the Braves, I guess. Like, I guess of these two teams I dislike, the Braves are the better option because they're not a team of cheaters. So good on them.
The Astros are still in their fuck those guys phase for me.
Oh,
I
totally.
think
they don't deserve it. Shit.
The other thing is I think that baseball's peak for me comes like usually like the first month of the season. I'm like totally into it, and then just kind of fades into the background. And that has nothing to do with my teams being good or bad or whatever. It's more of just kind of like it just kind of is. I'm glad that it's there. I'm glad that they're playing. But the season is so long. It is ungodly long.
162 games, and they're all 5 hours each. I don't know how much that comes out to in time, but it's like 150 years, I think.
So the only thing I could find quickly when it comes to game times for this year, the first 5 World Series games averaged 3 hours and 41 minutes.
I mean,
come on, God,
which was actually up 4 minutes from last year's Dodgers over Rays. The game 1 took 4 hours and 6 minutes, and game 5 lasted exactly 4 hours.
Yeah, but I feel like even though last year's World Series, even though those games are a bit long, I feel like more interesting stuff happened in last year's World Series. Like it was at least like it was fun at the very least. Whereas
this year's overall playoffs average was 3 hours 38 minutes, which is an increase of the average of average increase of 6 minutes from last season's playoffs.
That's ridiculous. I mean,
somehow they're getting longer. When it's like they got too long, we shortened them, and now they're getting too long again.
There's not a single other sport out there that takes this long to play a game. None. I mean, what's a hockey game about 2 hours? The average. I mean, the basketball is about 2.5 at most.
Hockey game's 2.5, 2:45. It's under 3.
NFL, NFL's 3 hours, but it's 3.5. But I don't.
NFL games are long, but they keep your attention the whole time.
Exactly. It's
right. That's the big difference. Like it's hard to say. Like you could play a 4-hour hockey game, a 4-hour baseball game, and that hockey game is going to go by way faster than the baseball game. Like the NFL has so much starting and stopping that it gets really old, especially if you're there in person. But I mean, if it's an engaging game. If a game lasts that long, that it's not a complete blowout, then sure, it's probably
the best way to watch an engaging football game is at home on the on television. Like football, especially NFL football, has been so crafted to a TV environment that. You actually lose something going to the games, in my opinion.
You don't realize, like, if you've never gone to a football game in person, the first time that there is a touchdown commercial, kickoff commercial, will drive you insane.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Because a lot of
the commercials games, around every kickoff is just nuts.
You look down at the field and you're like, what the fuck? These guys are all just standing around.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's like it's a commercial break.
Yeah, they're just you yell, play football.
That's what the high school games go by really quick because they don't have any of that.
Greg, I beg to differ sometimes.
Well, sometimes, like when we would televise and we'd be like, hold on until we get back. But they were like, it was like a minute break or whatever. But like,
the break
in California, they're probably televising him with spots in the whole bit, right?
Well, no, not even that. There are some. Here's my perfect high school football game: 2 teams that run the football.
Oh yeah,
and don't take penalties.
Yep. Because
you can get out of there in 2.5 hours, and it'll be clean and great and perfect. But then you get, as time has changed, and you get some of these elite teams that have these kids that are trying to make major colleges, and they throw the ball 50 times a game, and there's 20 incompletions, and each team takes 12 penalties, and the referees don't know where the fuck to spot the football, and I just keep looking at my watch like, oh my god, it is 9:45 and the third quarter just ended. Let me go home.
The worst is, I don't know if they have it out there. I'm sure teams do it, but like here, the really bad teams decide, let's run the spread.
Mm-hmm.
And then so that you've got horrible players with a quarterback that couldn't hit the fucking ground if he fell off the roof, and they're throwing the ball like 40 times a game. So it's like, not only are they terrible, but they're like just taking way.
Question: how long does the average Bishop Sycamore game last?
Well,
that's like if a tree fell in the forest, Mike. That's a philosophical question.
Well, and the other thing that you want to root for is a blowout, because then you get that you get that sweet, delicious running clock.
Yes.
Oh, running clock.
Better.
So
nothing better. But yeah, so the World Series, I don't know. I don't know what happened to me in baseball. We kind of split up, and that's been the end of it. So.
They announced the MVP finalists today, if you care.
For baseball?
Yep.
Shohei Ohtani's got to be one of them, right?
Yeah, so for the AL, it's Vlad Guerrero Jr., Marcus Semien of the Blue Jays as well, and Shohei Ohtani.
Okay.
And then in the National League, you got Fernando Tatis Jr. of the Padres, Juan Soto of the Nationals, and Bryce Harper of the Philadelphia Phillies.
Well, that's a tough call, because I don't think any of those teams made the postseason.
None of those teams made the playoffs. Yeah.
They're the real winners.
Actually, none of the MVP candidates made the playoffs.
That's weird, right?
Blue Jays, Angels, Padres, Nationals, Phillies. That's how. See, this is what we're talking about. It's not like exemplary of why baseball is losing it, but like none of those the best players in the league, according to the people that watch this sport all the time, the best players in the league, the 6 best players in baseball this season, did not make the playoffs.
But you want to know what's really strange about all of this? We can complain about how we didn't watch all day long. These playoffs, these Major League Baseball playoffs, did really well in terms of increasing youth viewership.
Really?
Yeah.
Good for them, I guess.
Ratings wise,
ratings, like TikTok ratings or something, or
no, man. Like in terms of like teenagers and young adults, like these playoffs were up compared to past years. So
wow, that's surprising. Well,
yeah,
more patience than I do, which is really surprising considering young kids don't tend to have a lot of patience. But
it's just that the youth today have, they're all brain dead because of the TikToks and the YouTubes. So
yeah, so why would you want to sit and watch fucking paint?
Well, no, because exactly, they're brain dead, so they just sit and watch a game till completion, just zombified.
Here's what needs to happen: the commissioner, Rob Manfred, needs to go into the locker room. Hold on. He's going to go into the locker room, and he's going to have 2 giant plastic like tubs, like huge, like 5 foot tall tubs, and he's going to gather all the whole roster. He's going to open one tub, and it's going to be full of painkillers and cocaine. And he's going to open the other one, and it's going to be full of steroids. And he's going to say, "Boys, have at it," and the game will be rejuvenated.
Oh yeah.
The whore economy will go skyrocketing. He's gonna like, it's gonna be called like the Babe Ruth Initiative or something, where he just gets them all just doped and drugged and
the 86 Mets Initiative would be the perfect name for it. I think.
Okay, just basically, it's like we're gonna take baseball back to its roots, where we just had
everyone's drugged and
steroids and just cretins and just
I don't think it's the worst idea.
I mean, it's kind of like you know, if a rapper or a musician has a, you know, like Eminem or something, where he was like got successful because he was just doing a copious amount of drugs and in life was living dramatic hell, and then after he got cleaned up, everyone's like, yeah, your music's still okay, but I liked you a lot better when you were all fucked up on drugs. And
so he just goes off on a bender, disappears for half a year, comes out with like a bitchin' new album.
Sorry, man.
Now that I think about it, back in the 80s, everybody was doing coke. No wonder the games went by so fast. I was like, they're just out there. Let's go, man. Let's go. So maybe that's what we need. Some more cocaine. I'm down with that plan. I like it. I
want to see the return of managers and players smoking cigarettes in the dugout. You know,
drinking a beer, like just straight up holding a beer can.
The common man. You know, like I feel like this.
More like a slow pitch softball league, basically. Then
hey,
make that shit casual. Maybe play like 50 fewer games or something. You know,
I want to see the managers wearing jeans.
Oh yeah,
let's get that up.
Like there needs to be some. You know, we need to just chill the fuck out. Baseball needs to just understand that, like, hey, let's just relax, everybody. Let's grab a cigarette, and do a little coke. Just
right.
You know, play the old ball game.
Man. Get coked up, fire up a heater, and off we go.
Nah, I mean, they'll under the leadership of Manfred, this will never get solved, and baseball will just be in hell for.
Well, because Manfred, I think, is the perfect embodiment of just like an empty suit who is just, I don't know, there to fill an office.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, we've got a commissioner. He's over there.
Well, that's part of the problem too, is that, you know, we've not had good leadership in baseball for a very long time. I mean, I can't remember the last good commissioner, because it was Bud Selig.
Who was it before Selig?
Giamatti maybe, or no? Fay Vincent, I think, was before Selig.
Yeah.
And right. Bart Giamatti was a good commissioner. I don't remember. Fay Vincent.
I mean,
was
Selig truly bad? I mean, I guess because of the work stoppages. But
yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's not even that he was bad or good. It was just such a conflict of interest, I think.
God, you know, look at this. Hold on. Let's see how bad things have gotten for baseball. Looking at only the commissioners' names. Okay, so the first commissioner, one of the great all-time names of names,
Kennesaw Mountain Landis.
Judge Kennesaw Mountain Landis. Jesus Christ, what a name!
Judge Kennesaw Mountain Landis.
I'm pregnant because I read that name. And then you had A.B. Happy Chandler, which is a drastically softer name, but still a cool name. You know.
Well, when you come under the iron fist rule of Judge Kennesaw Mountain Landis, you have to have a softer touch the next go around.
Well,
right.
You see, the thing with A.B. Chandler is like, yeah, it's a softer name, but I could totally
say A.B. Happy Chandler.
Yeah, he went by Happy Chandler, Mike. That's what they called him.
Happy Chandler. Well, you know, it's still he kind of sounds like a gangster. I could buy it.
Well, you know, plus I think the natural reaction to Judge Kennesaw Mountain Landis. It was like, we need a guy that's a little softer.
Yeah, yeah. And he was followed by Ford Frick, which is just a harsh.
Ford Frick,
you know, Ford Frick
is the reason that there was an asterisk by Roger Maris's home run record for a long time. That was a Ford Frick rule, believe it or not.
What did he do to piss off Mr. Frick?
Mr. Frick was a big Babe Ruth guy, basically. If I could be getting this wrong, I'm remembering it from like a book I read 40 years ago, but Ford Frick was a big Babe Ruth guy because Maris had an extra 8 games to hit 61. Frick decided they would have 2 records, the 154 game season and 162 game season.
That sounds like a bitch move to me, but okay.
It was a total bitch move. I think they finally removed it. I don't know. It hasn't been that long ago. I mean, not like 2 years, but it's fairly recent history that they finally removed the asterisk. Anyway, go ahead, Andy.
It's right. The last cool name was, they went back to the long form, General William D. Spike Eckert.
General
William D. Spike Eckert.
The aliens are abducting Andy again.
Yes, they are. It's the Snyder drones, as I think Chaos Blast pointed out.
Yeah.
The Dan Snyder drones. the fuck's going to happen with all that? I mean, when is that investigation going to come out?
It's just not.
Okay.
Like every time the NFL is asked about it, they're kind of like, no,
We're
no
working
thanks.
on it.
No, they're just like, no, it's done. Yeah, we're not dealing with it.
All right. Well,
like there's people in Congress now that have like asked them to subpoena documents and whatever, but it's like the NFL's kind of like, yeah, we'll think about it.
All right. Whatevs. I look forward to the Washington.
Andy's gonna. Yeah, he said finish without him. He's gonna. His internet's bad.
Yeah,
so we will remove them from the.
I blame the Bears.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
I think we're almost done anyway. Mountain Landis-Slow. Jesus.
He was the guy they brought in after the Black Sox scandal, right?
Yep, he was. He's actually the only commissioner to have dictatorial powers in that, like, no, he basically they brought him in to clean up baseball after the Black Sox scandal, and he said he would only do it if they basically gave him like complete control. So like if he wanted to do something, it happened, and he didn't need to run it by the owners. It was just his show. He's the only commissioner who I think had that power.
Probably. I'll tell you, who was a really good commissioner was Peter Ueberroth. He was in the 80s, I think. He had run the '84 Olympics in Los Angeles, and then he was commissioner of baseball. I thought he did a really good job.
I'm trying to think who. All of the NHL commissioners have been shit. So,
yeah, they don't have any cool names. I don't think.
Is there really even a good commissioner in sports right now? I guess Adam Silver.
He's good. Yeah,
the others, I think, fucking idiots.
Yeah, I was actually having this conversation with my girlfriend over the weekend because we were talking about a report had come out last week that in the wake of the Blackhawks stuff that a notable player agent on Twitter, Alan Walsh, put out some tweets that were like, there's some owners that really are mad at Gary about this, and maybe this is the end of Commissioner Bettman's tenure. And it's like, one, consider the source, and two, the owners that matter will never turn on Gary because he keeps making them money.
What are they mad about? What are they mad at Bettman for? Bettman's a scumbag, but he wasn't the one who covered up sexual assault.
No, but he's still the leader of he allowed the Blackhawks to try to create their own independent investigation before.
All right.
I don't know.
So
interestingly enough, if we want to be technical about it, Gary Bettman is the only commissioner of the NHL.
Right, they were presidents before him. Yeah.
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Yep. Until Bettman's hiring in '93, they were all considered presidents. Frank Calder, Red Dutton, Clarence Campbell, John Ziegler, and Gil Stein.
So were Campbell and Calder, are they reasons for the the old Campbell?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Campbell and Carter. Calder, the two that I remember.
Yeah.
The Chaos Blast pointed this out on our Twitter feed that the Rangers and the Flames locked up in a gorgeous jersey matchup the other night.
They did, and the
Rangers got killed. I go back to my Rangers. They lose 6-0. I'm like, well, fuck. I guess it's just the way it goes for me.
They lose 6-0. Kind of temporarily wrecked my goaltending stats in fantasy. Luckily, the Montreal Maroons rebounded to defeat the Toledo Gold Diggers.
That was funny. I was getting slaughtered. You were beating me like 9-1, and then on Saturday, I'm like, hey, we're tied. You never know. Because every game I've won this year, Mike, I've won on the last day of the week.
Well, we tied because I've got the Rangers goalie on my team, and he let in 6 goals and just completely wrecked my stat line.
Yeah, we're facing off this week, Mike, and I've remembered to set my lineup. So get ready.
Oh, okay, let's go.
Get ready for the comeback of the 0-4 Thunder Bay Bolts.
I'm off to my best start.
Not a great fantasy year for me. It's not
3-1. I'm off to my best start.
Yeah, I'm only 2-0-2, but I'm technically ahead of you in the standings.
Yeah, less losses.
Yes.
How would that come out in points? Let's see. So I'd have 6, right? And you would have
5. I'd have 5 in terms of points.
All right. Well, we'll have to talk to someone about that.
So the other thing that happened tonight in hockey, Ovechkin got a goal, so he ties Brett Hull for 4th all time in career goals.
Wow!
Oh, good for him.
Yeah, so he's now 153 away from Gretzky.
It'll be interesting.
How old is he? Ovechkin is. Why did this article that I have pulled up not mention his age? I think that's important.
Well, it is important if you're gonna start, questioning can he touch Gretzky?
He's 36 and he does have 4 years left on his contract.
Yeah, but he'd have to score let's just say for on average 40 a year for the next 4 years.
He's got 11 goals in 12 games this season.
Really?
He's leading the league in goals.
Yeah, I don't know though, man. Like scoring that many goals at like say age 38, that's going to be tough, I think. Well,
see, I think for some guys, yes. I think Ovi can do it because his contract goes until such and such time, but he can still play after that because he's, knock on wood, he's never truly been injured. Yeah. And honestly, the thing that's hurt Ovechkin the most in this chase is a lockout and a half. Right? Yeah. He's missed a season a lockout, a half season lockout, and then the COVID season. So he's missed basically 2 full seasons of potential goals.
Well, let's just say, just for the sake of argument, let's say he only scores 35 in those 2 seasons, like 35 each. That's still 70 closer than he would be right now.
Well, do we have any work stoppages on the horizon? It's
no, I think we're actually okay for a little bit. Remember during the COVID season, they rushed together to fix the CBA so that they could come back and play.
Never say never.
So I don't know. I think he might lose some speed, but he still has that slap shot, man, and it's incredible whenever he can really get a hold of one still. So I think if he doesn't get it, he will finish minimum second.
Let me ask. Okay, so I'm almost positive that I might be getting this wrong, but I'm almost positive. Like if you took away all of Gretzky's goals, he would still lead in points by like some crazy margin.
Yeah, his assists are insane.
So
his assists alone would still make him the highest.
So even if Ovechkin gets the goals, it's not like
no one will threaten Gretzky's points record. That's impossible. Like, yeah,
Gretzky's points record is otherworldly.
Yeah, especially because he has the only 200-point seasons in NHL history, and like just nobody's gonna get to that point. Like people were saying, like, oh, Crosby or not Crosby, McDavid is playing so great this season. He was averaging 2 points a game, 2 or 3 points a game early on. It's like, man, he's on a 200-point pace. But yeah, sure, maybe he'll get to like 130, 120, but that would be incredible for now. But nobody's going to get to the same numbers Gretzky did just because the game's different.
Well, not only that,
but it's incredible that we even have to talk about Ovechkin threatening this because otherwise, because like Gretzky for being 150 away from Gretzky, he's only 60 away from tying Gordie Howe for second. But once he gets to Gordie Howe, he still has 93 more goals to score after that.
Well, and I'm not taking a thing away from Gretzky. I mean, I grew up watching him play. We had CBC in Toledo, and I got to see him a lot. I watched all those finals against the Islanders and all that. But something that, and I don't know that you can. The Connor McDavid comparison is kind of tough because I don't think Connor McDavid's got Yari Curry and Mark Messier. And some of the other guys on those, and I'm
when he plays with Leon Draisaitl half the game, sometimes it works, but they try to split him up more often now.
And I'm not taking anything away from Gretzky because he was like the greatest hockey player I've ever seen, bar none. Period. It's not even a debate after that. But those Oilers teams were really fucking talented, man. I mean, it wasn't like he was up there playing.
If there's any team that's going to challenge the Canadian, like the 70s or 40s Canadians teams for like the
2007 Anaheim Ducks. Oh
no, it's the
1994 New York Rangers.
It's got to be the 80s Oilers. Yeah.
They were, I mean, just amazing to watch. And, you know, but like I said, I'm not taking anything away from Gretzky. I mean, I watched the guy play when he was like 39 with the Rangers, and he was still the best fucking player on the ice as far as I was concerned. I mean, maybe not the most physically best, but Jesus.
Well, that's what I mean, though. Like the thing with Gretzky and the thing with Ovechkin, like Ovechkin just knows how to score goals.
Yeah.
His physical attributes aside, he just knows where to be, knows how to place a puck. Like Teemu Solani, for example. Now, Teemu really lost his speed in his last couple of years, and even his hands went away to a certain extent. But he couldn't shoot the puck as hard, but he could pinpoint it in any point of the net you wanted him to put it. And I think Ovechkin can do that with a lot more power, especially on those slap shots from the point. Like I fully envision in like 5 or 6 years when Ovi's 41, still playing for the Capitals. They might even just have him on the roster to put him out on the power play and just go say, Ovi, go stand in the top left circle and we're going to pass you the puck.
Fire it. Yeah.
Just tee up one-timers for 2 minutes and then go sit down.
Yeah. I think what's he.
And because he's such a big, strong guy, like today he scored on a tip. He's such a big, strong dude. You can put him in front of the net when he can't shoot anymore and just have him try to tip pucks in.
Well, what's he? So he's third right now on the all-time goal list, right?
He's tied for fourth.
Oh, tied for fourth. You know what? If he's quit today, that's a pretty fucking solid career.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And like I said, he's only 60 away from Howe. So he'll get, at minimum, he will get to number 2. It's just whether or not he can get that extra 90 and pass Gretzky.
Yeah.
Which is a lot to ask, but he will get to Gordie Howe by next season, maybe. And then it's a 3-4 year mark to see if he can get those other 90.
That'll be interesting.
Yeah, if there's somebody that'll do it, it's him. But even if he doesn't do it, because of how Gretzky played and who he is, I think you can still say to like kind of caveat it. You can still say that Ovechkin's the best pure goal scorer of all time,
right?
Because based on numbers alone.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, look at the Panthers are undefeated.
Yeah, in regulation. Yeah.
Oh, okay. They got an OT loss. Yeah. Wow. Look at them go.
Yeah, they're doing really well. The Hurricanes suffered their one and only loss to the Panthers. They were 9-0. Toronto's got their early game woes out of the way, and they're doing fine.
Why? I made
the Ducks are being much better than they have any right to be, and Seattle is being a good expansion team and playing in last place. Good job, Seattle. That's where the expansion teams belong, in the goddamn basement.
And the Arizona Coyotes have 1 win, so
over the Kraken.
I might have picked the wrong year to go back to the Rangers. The Jackets are 7-3 right now.
Yeah.
You know what?
They're getting some good goaltending. Those Jackets.
I can root for both. I'm fine with that. I don't think I don't have the hockey credentials to worry about it really. So
yeah, I mean the Rangers are still in second place in the Metro. They're a point ahead of Columbus.
It's just I think when Chaos Blast sent the tweet to us, that picture of that game, I'm like, this is why.
Yeah,
those fucking uniforms are just so nice, man. It's just like I'm like that's what a hockey team looks like.
And as a young 90s fan boy that I am, the Ducks and Coyotes on Friday, the Coyotes wearing their Kachinas again, and the Ducks wore their orange Mighty Ducks uniforms. And so while it's not the exact same, just seeing those two logos next to each other on the ice was like, it hit me in a way that I was like, that I was not expecting to. Like, oh, that's what I want. Yeah, no, that is what I want.
Let's see.
Mighty Ducks versus Kachina. Let's go.
Until they're forced to move to Houston. Yes.
I still think they're gonna figure out something at the end of the year, but I'm not.
I mean, the list of potential solutions is very short. Either they have to move somewhere, or the NHL just dumps a shit ton of money on Glendale and just begs them to let them stay.
Yeah, which would only infuriate certain sects of people more. Like, why do we keep bending over backwards for this one franchise? But
that's a fair point.
Yeah, I mean, surprisingly, their attendance isn't suffering so much this season. I wonder if it's a Save the Coyotes movement down there. I haven't paid too much attention. because they've been awful, but they've also been awful on purpose. So,
I was going to ask too. So I see Jack Eichel got traded from the Buffalo Sabres.
He finally got moved to Vegas. So now he can get the neck surgery he wants, and then he'll play for Vegas in 4 months or whatever.
I'm just surprised because remember that he was the big thing, man.
Right when that draft was coming up, it was either him or McDavid,
right?
And it's even if we get number 2, it's still a great pick.
Yeah, we still get Jack Eichel, basically. Yeah,
and it's not Jack Eichel's fault that the Sabres were the dumpster fire they were, but this I'm just glad that drama is done and we can stop talking about it, and and he can get the surgery he wants, and then hopefully he can round into being a good player. I'm not pleased that if he does become the player he's supposed to be, it would be for the Vegas Golden Knights, but the good thing to note is that, hey, you get a couple injuries on that team, and all of a sudden they're not very good. Wow, must suck, huh, Vegas?
Well,
some injuries, some losses, only 6-6. What are you doing?
I really hope that this is the year that the wheels fall off and they just crater.
I mean, they're only the positive thing for them is that even though they are not playing well and they have injuries, at the end of the day, they still play in the same division as the Kraken, Canucks, Kings, Sharks, and Ducks. So as much as I'm like, hey, the Ducks, they're playing well right now, I have no aspirations that this is going to sustain itself for a full season. And I fully anticipate Vegas, getting up back into the top spot of the division. Not maybe the top spot, because Edmonton's actually playing very well right now. But
yeah, look at the Oilers, 9-1.
Hey.
Yeah, did you see that goal McDavid scored on Friday night, Saturday night?
Jesus, that was beautiful.
The McDavid on 5 goal.
Yeah, against the Rangers, right? Yeah.
I saw it.
My God.
And then, and I can taking a look at the standings. It looks like the Sabres have fallen back down to earth after.
Yeah, they've righted back to their regular ways.
The Montreal Canadiens have regressed significantly.
That's the Stanley Cup finalist Montreal Canadiens, I'll have you know.
That McDavid goal, it was I think the only thing it lacked was a couple guys off the bench just to be out there just to make it more difficult. That was unfucking believable. I'm like,
the Rangers didn't exactly put up a fight against them. They just kind of said, "Oh God, he's coming in. What do we do? What do we do?"
It was
oh God, he's behind us.
He basically scored on the entire fucking team. It's come on, man.
So
he literally beat all 5 players and the goalie. Yeah.
So I need to ask you guys. Have you guys seen any? Have you guys watched any games on TNT?
Yeah, I have a couple.
I watched.
What are you guys' thoughts on the coverage?
The in-game stuff is for good. They took the play-by-play guys mostly from NBC, and the scoreboard is nice and compact. Has the shots on goal. That's a plus.
Yeah.
I like the little graphic they put on the ice during power plays to show you how much time's left, the same way they do with the shot clock during NBA games.
Yes, that's very cool.
Very
yes.
Nice. The intermission show is it's better than NBC's, but they're trying to do the inside the NBA. Hey, we're a bunch of hockey guys having a fun time talking about our sport, which is good. They're having a good time.
I just laugh because God, between AEW wrestling and the NHL, I've watched more TNT in the last few months than I think I ever have in the past 10 years.
Yeah, right?
But
I just when they turn on the end of a basketball game, they're like, "Hey, to come back to TNT tomorrow for Kings Blues." It's like, they're going to promote it during the thing that everybody else is actually watching.
But I like the way that they're promoting the NHL games with the talking heads. They're like where it's just people just talking about the teams, and it's very kind of like, we know that a good portion of the people watching this network maybe don't know hockey, so we're trying to inform them about the teams and get them excited to watch these teams. Sure. It's a good format. It's a good format, but the thing that I laughed at was the other night they were trying to pump up Wild Coyotes.
The Clash of the Titans.
And it's like, these dueling talking head segments of hockey players and hockey analysts, like trying to make you think that you should spend your time watching Coyotes Wild.
It's a Central Division rivalry.
They're like trying to be like, it's like, how do you build this Coyotes team up? Because like for example, for the Kings, like they'll be like, oh, like the Kings, they'll surprise you. They're a sneaky good team, but like, what do you say about the Coyotes? Like, I don't like
the Coyotes exist.
Exactly, right? It's like it's not gonna be the argument. Like, hey, if you like hockey, watch this Coyotes game, and it will technically occur.
You want to see some goal scoring? Well, they'll let up a few.
Coyotes. Yeah, Coyotes Wild. It's like that is like
that always needs to be advertised as Wild Coyotes. And then maybe they'll get people to tune in. There's Wild Coyotes on TV?
Yeah, you'll get the Outdoor Life Network people to tune in. But
this Wednesday, Wild Coyotes. They're two hockey teams.
But the
Predators,
funny thing is,
Coyotes. Yes, they are. I will tune in.
I'll tune in to watch your nature documentary.
Coyotes are a hockey team.
But the I don't know, like it's just funny. I always get a kick out of it when networks have to try to pump up these shit games between shit teams. But something about this Wild Coyotes talking head like commercial segment that TNT ran just made me chuckle, because it's like yeah, these teams are good, and it's like, yeah, but are they?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's no worse than the Thursday Night Football blurbs. So
two teams already looking to next year.
I'm disappointed that we didn't get Texans Dolphins this week on Thursday night. Would that have not been perfect? 2-1-7 teams on Thursday night.
To me, the perfect Thursday night game is Titans Jaguars. Like
forever in our hearts.
Always.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we're closing in on 2 hours. We should probably wrap up this bad boy.
Yes, sir.
Indeed. And as Chaos Blast points out, the Flames are right behind the Oilers. We got a real battle of Alberta. Maybe the Flames should add the Alberta flag patches back to their uniforms to troll the Oilers some more.
Just for those games.
Just for those games, yes.
Just for those.
All right, we're going to wrap it up, folks. Thanks for tuning in. Follow us on Twitter at Basically Sports. Subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, and wherever fine podcasting is sold. We'll see you next time.
Adios.
See ya.